Despite accounting for a 66% drop-off from its opening to second weekend of release, Rachel Zegler accounts for the support of 100% of Hollywood's most insufferable actors and actresses. Hollywood rallies around Rachel Zegler in an attempt to shield her from the blame as Snow White collapses at the box office. Yeah, it's second week drop-off. Well, we looked at the numbers yesterday fairly extensively, and yeah, it's a certifiable bomb. It's an all-time classic in about the worst sense of the term, but here's the thing, man. I've talked about this loudly and proudly in stark contrast to several other people. I still think Rachel Zegler, she continues to get work at Disney because they are working overtime, okay? The people that they want to just go ahead and erase from history, that they want to silently admit they made a mistake by casting, they don't hire PR gurus, okay? They don't continue to try to trot them out in front of the cameras. They don't continue to turn a blind eye to. They will make pointed and public criticism a la Gina Carano, a la The Acolyte, and then just move them out, move on from that. No. Rachel Zegler, I still think that she's going to get cast in whatever Marvel wants to do with the X-Men, okay? Whatever uncanny X-Men. I think that, she'd make a perfect Jubilee. If Cynthia Erivo's going to be a Storm, I could imagine Rachel being Rogue because, oh my God, nothing could be any dumber than a surefire hit in the X-Men than casting a bunch of losers like that. So that's why I still think, hey man, you have to be a Jennifer Salke level dipshit to get fired in Hollywood. Rachel Zegler, oh, she's just getting started because, yeah, with all of the support that's out there, okay, that just also lets you know that the industry's not done with her at all whatsoever because they all hold the same positions. She was just dumb enough to vocalize them over and over and over again. So let's take a look at this. With Disney's Snow White remake underperforming at the box office. Yeah, no, it's falling well below expectations, okay? And I can imagine this week, yes, it's not going to be good because there's no word of mouth on this one. And the only word of mouth that you're getting is how atrocious this is. Yeah, okay. It lives up to and even surpasses your wildest expectations for how dogshit this film is. And facing widespread public backlash, a wave of Hollywood celebrities and media allies are now circling the wagons to defend its embattled lead actress, Rachel Zegler. Yes, we must shield a woman from the dildo of consequences. We must step in the way and deep throat that incoming fleshy torpedo, because God forbid she gets held accountable for any of her bad decisions. The film, which has only earned $143 million, that's likely changed by the time that you guys see this, in its first 2 weeks, is nowhere remotely close to breaking even on its $250 million production budget, and even some of the trades, some of which we're going to be looking at here, have even gone on to admit, yeah, it's even worse than we reported to begin with. And when we see the tax documents from the UK, yeah, I'd imagine this thing is probably 450, 500, somewhere in that area. Despite this dismal performance and widespread criticism of Zegler's past comments, criticism or just simply using them, just putting up what she had said and go, yeah, she said it. But yes, surrounding political discourse and the film itself, a growing number of celebrities are now voicing their support, and some outlets are actively attempting to reframe the narrative around her. Now you remember last week, what was it, Variety, and I said that this is absolute cope, okay? This is public approved condemnation. I think it was a Variety article where it's like, oh yeah, no, this is Disney throwing Rachel under the bus. And it's like, no, this is just simply highlighting the steps to which Disney is going to try to rehabilitate Rachel. I don't know how you think that this is Disney trying to distance themselves from it, because yeah, you had the producer's son, Mark Platt's son, Jonah Platt, come out and excoriate Rachel, but guess what? He deleted his post, probably at the request of his father, to be like, oh, let's just not inflame this stuff. But still, he took that down. He took that, showing once again, that he's the bigger man in this situation, where he can go ahead and, even though it wasn't a fault of his at all, he admitted he made a mistake by getting rid of the post, but he ended up getting the adulation for just simply having an incredibly based opinion. But he also gets the plausible deniability of going, yeah, I got rid of that because Rachel's going to continue to work and her toxicity is going to be weaponized into the future because she's going to go on unscathed. Zegler told Allure that several major stars have reached out to her privately in recent months. Jamelia Jamil. Oh my God. What the hell? She was in She-Hulk. Oh my God. Titania McGrath? Was that the character she played? I think that's what it was. Christ, that was like 3 years ago. Holy shit. She-Hulk was 3 years ago. Holy. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the name of the character. So that's who that is. Okay, she's like a big sister to me. Well, you're tiny. Everybody's big to you. She said, I love that she has no regrets about being outspoken, being strong-willed, and strong-minded. And to be completely honest, like, if you want to talk about strong-willed, strong-minded, we're basically saying insufferable bitch with a few extra steps. Like, if you want to point to somebody, you just go ahead and go over to Tatiana Maslany, okay, the star of She-Hulk. She's an ass, okay? She makes that very public time and time again. And, who looks like they're going to be backdoored into Avengers Doomsday? All right, exactly, because Disney likes to they like to go ahead and distance themselves from public bombs like that. Shut up. We've seen this play out time and time again. This is the same thing, right? Like, it absolutely shocks me how everybody thinks that, oh yeah, Rachel's career's done. Bro, they're going to bring back She-Hulk. They haven't decanonized the Acolyte yet. Why would you think Fantastic Four is going to be good? It's written by the idiots that did WandaVision. Like, whatever, man. She added that pop icon, okay, and somebody whose next role is going to be the skeleton in your doctor's office, Ariana Grande, had also contacted her personally. She's so deeply kind. And was she, crying through DMs? Okay. She has gone through so much in the public eye. Yeah, like standing there like a stupid person while there was a terrorist attack going on during one of her concerts. And have always really, really admired her courage in the face of all that. Zegler also noted that her Shazam Fury of the Gods co-star Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu have expressed private support amid growing scrutiny. Yeah, Zachary Levi contacted me as well, but I already have him blocked because, his last name, and we don't like that around here. God, she's just a virulent anti-Semite, apparently. Did you see that one congressional hearing where apparently it's not enough to be anti-Semitic, you have to be anti-Semitic? Holy shit, man. BLM tactics with a tiny hat. Actress Melissa Barrera, okay, who was dropped from Scream 7 for her own political statements, okay, reposted the message to Instagram defending Zegler after Variety's expose on the backstage Disney drama. The post Barrera shared called Variety's piece a hit piece and added, it makes her look cool as hell and full of integrity. Okay. Indie singer Ethel Cain, echoed the sentiments in an Instagram story, writing, Rachel Zegler, don't let him get you down, legend. And then, yeah, you can see this little fruit right there, front and center. Not me, I'm off to the side, but the one in the center of your screen, right there. Okay, he ended up, seeing what indie singer Ethel Cain, the fuck is that? Now, seeing what he said, and he's like, nah, I can go ahead and do it better. Pedro Pascal, an outspoken Hollywood progressive who, just like Rachel Zegler, demonized half the country after a presidential election, weighed in on Zegler, calling her an icon in his own Instagram story. But yeah, like I said, man, that Variety article, it's not throwing Rachel under the bus. It's throwing Disney under the bus. Because you can go ahead and you can take shots at the big faceless monolith, but don't you dare try to hold a woman responsible for her actions, okay? Because then you'll have other puff piece articles pop up. So in so much as Variety wrote a hit piece, Vanity Fair wrote a puff piece, and we got it pulled up right here. And bro, Snow White's failure has turned Rachel Zegler into a scapegoat and into an icon. She's not going anywhere. And to somebody in the comment, like, that dress sucks, man, because she's got about the only redeemable qualities, well, two of them that she has, are being strapped down on her chest, and it looks a lot like it looks like a grocery bag cellar taped to the wall with a cantaloupe at the bottom of them. They look like ass in that. That's not a flattering picture at all whatsoever, but it's at the Oscars, and that's important, right? For better or worse, the name on everybody's lips is Rachel Zegler, the West Side Story star. That's the first title that you want to pull up. Okay, has found herself at a cross-section of internet discourse and Hollywood gossip after her latest film, Snow White, flopped at the box office, earning a dismal $43 million domestically and just $87 million globally in its opening weekend, after reportedly costing at least $350 million to make and market. See, because even Vanity Fair is coming clean with the approximation that, yeah, this thing cost a lot of money, but still, $350 million? It's kind of a low ball. Entertainment insiders are always primed to find somebody to blame for for a failure on this scale. In Snow White's case, the scapegoat seems to be Snow White herself, but try as these voices might to implicate Zegler, the discourse seems to be having the opposite effect. The more that comes to light about Zegler and Snow White's debacle, the better the 23-year-old looks to many observers. Are you fucking high? I see, okay, like, I'm not shocked that anybody in the Hollywood in-group, okay, is writing anything like this, because they all think think the same as Rachel Zegler. That's why she's not going anywhere. But just somebody with, I don't know, just a modicum of common sense. You look at that and you go, the more that comes to light about Rachel Zegler, the more you figure out that she is just a detestable human being, not worthy of even just the base amount of deference, because she has shown that she can go ahead and blow through any type of goodwill that you could possibly offer her. But she apparently looks better? What? No, it makes no sense at all, but it makes perfect sense in the context of Hollywood. Zegler and Snow White's difficulties began long before the film hit the theaters, yes, and on March 21st. Blah, blah, blah. We've gone through all of that. They bring up the Variety article. Tatiana Siegel, Variety's executive editor of film and media, wrote a hit piece that detailed producer Mark Platt flying to New York to talk to Zegler about, the trailer being viewed some ungodly amount, but didn't mention the dislikes that it had accrued. But yes, tagging it with, and always remember Free Palestine. He's like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm not taking that down now. According to Siegel, Disney hired a social media guru to vet all of Zegler's posts after she disparaged Donald Trump following the 2024 reaction. That's all? Just Donald Trump, right? Suggesting that the studio viewed her as a liability and a costly one at that. Vanity Fair has reached out to Disney for comment, but at the time Snow White premiered, Disney seemed to be doubling down on the narrative. At the very least, it was putting a conspicuous distance between itself and the star. Snow White premiere was scaled down from the afternoon event that was closed to the press. People reported the source of the knowledge of the situation was standard practice for Disney family films, though Moana 2 was given a traditional premiere party just a few months earlier, and I'd imagine Lilo and Stitch is also going to have that same scaled down event. Yeah, sure. The reality is Zegler should not be playing Snow White, one anonymous source from another studio. See, another studio told Vulture ahead of the premiere. Jumping ahead a little bit, by Thursday morning, over 50 other journalists had signed an open letter to Variety strongly condemning Siegel's article. When asked for comment, a spokesperson for Variety issued the following statement to Vanity Fair: "We stand by our excellent reporter Tatiana Siegel and her detailed and well-sourced reporting about what happened behind the scenes of this film." Siegel has previously also been the subject of backlash from Israel supporters for her reporting on Hollywood's response to the war in Gaza. Interesting. Although Zegler's already won a Golden Globe for starring in Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Why don't you talk about the box office returns on that one? And has also led successful major film franchise, the Hunger Games movie, to its lowest performance at the box office in franchise history. She may be more visible now than ever. For the most part, she seems not to be engaging with the contentious debate. I would imagine after Snow White loses 1,000+ theaters this weekend, or even by the time that it ends up hitting streaming, I can imagine, right? Because it's always the same old song and dance with these Disney live action films, or even just films in general. They could be absolute dog water, but the moment that they hit streaming, same thing happened with the Marvels. Oh, it's the #1 streaming. It's an absolute triumph on streaming services. And yeah, I would imagine, right? Because we're still waiting, and I know, like Rachel, she's going to spurg out about this film in the moment that she has an opportunity to. So perhaps she's just simply biding her time. It's like how it took a long time for her to come back to the forefront after that stupid Variety sit down. It's funny how Variety has had such a consequential impact on her career, but that sit down with wall-eyed Black Little Mermaid, she got awfully quiet for a while, but just couldn't help herself to say something stupid in the aftermath. But yeah, when Snow White comes out, and just a lot of people, just out of sheer curiosity, not wanting to go to the theaters, but then at the same time, because they've been inundated with different offers, they'll sign up for Disney Plus for just $2 for like 6 years. They'll turn on Snow White and go, Jesus Christ, what the hell is this? And it ends up popping a rating, and it's the #1 most watched thing on Disney Plus in this certain category at this certain time of the week. Okay, then she'll come out and she'll say, F you haters. Okay, this one goes out to all the bigots and chuds. Okay, we totally owned you. Snow White's the #1 hit on our streaming service. Her meltdown is coming, but her career is far from over. And honestly, in this line of work, I do like repeat customers and job security. Hey man, it's difficult to come by in this ever-changing landscape. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. Insufferable twats will continue to get rewarded with role after role being viewed by fewer and fewer people until this Hollywood bubble bursts. And honestly, if that happens, I can still just go back and watch all of the old stuff because that's what I've been doing for years at this point. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.